What's going on, everybody? All right, I just had Wymie Chick put a comment out. I took a look at it 'cause, I got the email regarding the interview on yet another value channel. You can take a look at it. It's basically talking about the court case, the creation of AIDS, popcorn, stuff like that. I just want to put my little 2 cents piece on it. I haven't heard the whole thing yet, but there was one piece on it. I want to tell you something. When we first had our first run up on February 2021, and they smacked us down and held us there, it was at that point they made the decision: we're going to pump this as much as we can, and we're going to dump as much as we can, because AMC was not a meme stock yet. It wasn't, a meme stock yet. It wasn't trending in that capacity. GameStop had all the attention, so their goal was to push it in that direction, so they can get a higher, stock value and then drop shares. They made a lot of money that way, but it was in one piece, and it was left out in that thing, that interview. When they ran out of shares at a certain point, they not only just started to think about how can we get more shares, and then they thought about creating the ape. Okay, that's pretty much legal, because they already had that on the books. They could have done that. What happened was the fact that behind the scenes, Popcorn, AMC came up with numbers that there was no way that were possible. Remember, 90% of the float, retail owns it. Don't worry about the institutes. Don't worry about none of that stuff, whatever, and ignoring the Brazilians. It was around that time frame, okay, that the play got shady, and they were willing to do whatever. I think that some big cast of characters got caught in this short position, and that's when it was like, do what you got to do. And then that's when we saw the craziness happen, okay? Because after that June 2nd run-up, we saw craziness happen. Everybody paints the Popcorn's doing his job to raise money, and I get it. And at first, yeah, whatever. I don't like the way that thing was done. Yeah, hey, this is great. We're going to beat the shorts. Hey, short, listen, no problem. Yeah, we got them. Don't worry about it. We're going to take care of everything, that kind of stuff. Okay? We already know that. It's no longer what I'm saying. Now it's all factual. You can see it in court documents. That being said, for people to understand how this great play turned dark, it was just greed. At a certain point, there was no more shares. The idea of using the ape preferred, yada, 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 using it with Citi to create it. Let me tell you something. We were even threatened with ape. At a certain point, I believe there was some big individuals. I think I know who they are, but I'll go on the shut the fuck up mode on that. They got caught on this thing. Because see, this is the whole thing about this entire thing about the street. You could only play in a certain way to a point, but then math kicks in. So what do they got to do? They got to do crazy stuff. So we broke into 4 parts. The run was the first run was suppression on February 21st. Then they got creative and started like pumping everything. I'm gonna go on Trade's channel with no pants, whatever. And then obviously dump as many shares as they can, including June 2nd. Okay, those are the 2. Then it was the massive synthetic attack. Then Popcorn said, I see no evidence of synthetics. Yeah, I'm sure you don't. Yeah, no problem. That was the third one, when we took from $72 all the way down to, I think we got down to like $4. And then when we were finally gonna run was the creation of ape. The 5th phase of this thing now was this reverse split to clean everything, the cleanup operation, to get back online. This play got dark, murky, fraudulent. You can technically say, criminal-ish. Between February 21st, after June 2nd, that's when they realized it. They don't have any more shares going forward. That's why they had to create this whole thing. That's why this reverse split, this whole thing that's going on, that's why this thing was being done. The Allegheny, in my opinion, the way this thing is going was to rubber stamp this whole cleanup operation the same way when Popcorn came out and said that we're 90% of the float, which is impossible. Mathematically, it was impossible. Getting a settlement agreement with a willing participant would have basically given like a legal stamp of approval to clean up the entire operation. And so far, they have not gotten it. So in this interview, I'm listening to it, and the guy, he understands, I think he touched on it, whatever, but doesn't really like point out the dark side of this. They knew 100% they were dealing with inexperienced retail investors, and they were willing to do things that were so dark and dirty. Like, let's face it, AMC was not in any financial hardship. It was receiving loans and all kinds of stuff. They refinanced their debt going forward. They were doing fine. Theaters were opening up and everything. What they did at a certain point is because they couldn't control themselves. I remember saying that it's part of my compensation. I'm old. I have to dump, sell the shares. Man's worth a lot of money. Like I said, I'm not one of those people like down with the rich type. I'm not that. But at the same time, understand the play got dark and evil against us around that time frame leading to the creation of Ape. And that's when they started to see that we didn't want dilution, we didn't want his pay raise. Listen, if the company was so much in trouble and risking bankruptcy, how are you going to take a bonus? Like, dog, not for nothing. That's why, like I see these things, it's like, let's stop the niceties, whatever. This is a dark, dirty play with some evil motherfuckers in it. That's it. Just want to say my piece. I'm listening to that thing, and I'm just going to leave it alone for now. I'll chime in more towards the end. But understand, those are the phases that led them to going further and further and further that behavior, conspiring more with other cast of characters. So this was not a regular play. So for people who took losses and took a beatdown, please understand, they brought in every element. You even had a major bank, working with the company we saved on how to get more stock in order to dilute further and destroy the worth of our investment. That's why this is not, to me, it's not like yay, I love the movie theater, I love popcorn. Like, no, this was dirty. I'm not even going to finish listening to the rest of it now. I'll finish the rest of it later. That's how dark this thing was.